This week on Ask Your Dad, instead of doing an ad, we are going to, we're trying to spread awareness for a friend of ours. So Nate Dennis and his wife, Mikkel, we've known Nate our whole life. They live here in Utah. They are looking to adopt. So I wanted to kind of just draw attention to their website in case, you know anybody, or if, basically just spread the word. So that website is Dennis with two N's, DENNIS, famadoption.com. Once again, that website is dennisfamadoption.com, and it has information on there about their family and pictures, bios, and kind of gives you information on them. So they're looking to adopt. So if you want to spread the word, help create a family, that'd be great. So once again, www.dennisfamadoption.com.
Ask your dad.
All right, welcome to Ask Your Dad. We are on episode 9. It's almost double digits, baby.
Glad to be here.
So we're bringing back fan favorite. What episode are you on? Number
1.
Number 1. Oh yeah,
the
you're on the
Genesis.
one. You probably didn't think this is going to make 9 episodes.
I didn't. No,
You did too.
No, actually, I had full faith.
Alrighty, so we got Mike.
Yeah, Mike Sardoni. Again, I've got 2 kids: a little girl that's 7, and then a little boy that's 3. And daylight savings is kicking my ass today.
Yeah, today was. I tried to explain it to Coco and Nora, and they were just too baffled. I stopped explaining 2 minutes into it. I'm like, all right, and then we got a third here.
Collin, and I got 2 boys, 6 and 9.
Is he 9 now?
Yep.
Oh, when did he turn 9?
He turned 9 in October.
Dang.
Yeah.
I thought him and Coco were the same age.
No, Coco's a year younger, right?
Oh, yeah. Coco's 8.
I had kids
adults
young,
now.
yeah.
They're practically adults.
He's a gangly knees and elbows.
Yeah. Jude's a man. So this episode, we got a couple good questions. Before we talk about that, I want to talk a little bit about the madness that's going on with coronavirus. I've been on a bunch of text threads. The whole, like, every store out of toilet paper, out of water, it's like really making me angry.
I
Like,
bought
not even
laundry
that, just
soap,
going
but
to
it
the
was
store.
ridiculous.
You bought laundry soap?
There's literally no laundry soap.
Yeah, you can't buy, like, kids Tylenol for your kids.
That's ridiculous.
So
Yeah, I got a few pictures of just empty shelves.
Yeah.
People trying to buy things.
Dude, I was crying. We were on a group text, and I was on a group text with Mike, and Mike put a picture up of, like, Winco or somewhere, Walmart. I don't know where you were. The empty shelves, and then so all the other guys start posting pictures of empty shelves of where they are, like different stores they were at. And then one of our buddies, he's like, "Oh, you got to go to this store in Lehigh. There's it's like sanctuary. Nobody, like, everything's full." And then somebody's like, "Dude, I just joined it. Oh, it was you?" I think it was Mike. He's like, "Hey, bro, I just joined a Facebook group about why that store is so full. It's because they sourced everything from China."
Trying to scare Tim.
And then his response was like immediate, and he photoshops like a picture of like some cereal, and on the back it says like property of Wuhan County. I was dead. Oh, I was crying.
It's dirt cheap. They're trying to get rid of it half price.
It's just to making me angry, the whole thing.
I mean, I got swept up in it all.
Yeah,
we just got a new house,
You were
and
on your high horse.
Yeah, I didn't have any food storage, and a few weeks ago I told Jenny, I was like, hey. So I work at Skullcandy, and the factory in China, we have several factories that we source a bunch of headphones from, and
You guys rammed right now?
they've been closed for over a month. No one's been going to work. And so when I knew about that, I told Jenny, I was like, hey, we should probably just try and get something in the next couple of weeks. And then I woke up Sunday and realized it was just hysteria. So I went out into the throng, and I mean, I got some stuff. I wasn't like buying up 300 gallons of sanitizer, but
Yeah.
I got
A
some
pallet
basic
of toilet paper.
I got some basic essentials, but yeah, I think I was more of a first mover, or closer to the first mover.
Yeah.
But I saw things were going, and I was like, well, I better get out. I had a conversation with someone who was like, I couldn't find toilet paper or water at Costco Saturday night. I was like, oh, geez, it's happening.
I don't understand the water thing, though.
No,
is the
no one
coronavirus
understands-
isn't going
yeah.
to spread
No
through
one understands
water.
any of
You're
it,
going to
dude.
have running water.
It was just like people
not
saw
a hurricane.
People saw someone doing something, and then everyone just spread mass hysteria.
It was probably me.
That guy's got water.
Yeah,
It's
they
probably me
saw
Sunday
Mike-
afternoon in
7
Cedar Hills.
Mike's
and then
running.
No, I wasn't
Packs of
running. I
water.
was just getting some food and like
7 pallets of water.
there's probably a few Mormon folks shopping after church for some like ingredients for cookies. And they saw me with like a couple carts full, and they're like, "This what? Oh,
That guy's taking everything. Go grab it.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Well, like it's I don't know. It's like there's too many funny memes about needing toilet paper and the
Yeah.
CDC conversation or whatever. It's too
Yeah.
funny, but yeah, I don't understand it either.
Jenny,
the water
Jenny
thing
saw
makes no
people
sense.
fighting at Winco.
Yeah,
That's
no, they're
amazing.
full on fights like breaking out at like Costco. They had to post a thing on their
Crazy.
Facebook. That's
All you do is you just go cough on what you want.
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
really bad,
Just a
like
good
horse cough. And then everyone splits up and
yeah.
you just grab what you need.
How funny was the press conference with the lady where she's like talking about
Yeah.
what not to do and
Yeah.
like don't touch your face, and then literally 5 seconds later licks her finger
licks
to
her finger
turn
to
the
turn
page.
it in. She got roasted so hard.
I had someone not shake my hand at work.
Oh,
She's
really?
like, "We're not going to shake hands, right?" I'm like, "Oh, are we not?"
Yeah.
It's like coronavirus and all this stuff. I'm
Oh,
like, "You're
boy.
crazy." I don't know
We-
what you're talking
We live
about.
in a fearful world,
Yeah.
and I talk to Jenny all the time. I actually hate it. I think people focus on like small negative things that are publicized by the media or whatever it may be.
Oh, yeah.
and they just latch
Cancel
onto
culture,
it.
dude.
And so then everyone lives in
Canceling
fear.
coronavirus.
Everyone
that
lives in
virus is
fear.
going to
and
cancel everybody.
No one does anything because they're
Yeah.
too afraid of the outcome that is just so remote.
Yeah, you can get like a $7 flight to Costa Rica right now. So
That's amazing.
if you want to go,
Is that worth corona? I mean, it only kills like the
Yeah,
older,
your chances of survival are pretty
susceptible people.
yeah, I don't
Go
understand.
to Italy
Especially
for
the water thing.
$50.
We have the best water this side of Mississippi besides
Yeah.
Beaver. They have a big billboard that says they're the number one
best
water in
water.
the world or whatever.
Best tasting water.
Best tasting water in the world. No one knows where they got that.
So it's all about
Accolade.
the source.
If you just pick it first and say you have the best coffee in New York,
Yeah.
you're the best.
Yeah, the whole thing is so stupid. And the thing that's annoying too is now it's like affecting my kids. Now like Coco's a freaking warrior, dude.
Yeah.
And now
Maddie's
she's
the
like
same way.
she sees and hears anything at the school, and I would love to be a fly on the wall during these recess conversations with the kids. You hear about the coronavirus? And
Yeah.
like just hear them interpret it.
Yeah.
It'd be really funny. We should have brought them on and asked them their thoughts on the coronavirus.
What they
that
think
would've
about
been
coronavirus.
Yeah, they would have been stuck.
I think the best thing is I read an article about how Corona beer sales went way down because people won't buy Corona beer.
They're
Yeah.
associating
Just
it
like
with the
people
virus,
are
huh?
dipshits.
How stupid. How stupid you have to be. It's unreal. Let's get into our first question here. So we asked this is a hot debate. So basically we asked whether, what was the question? Do you let your kids do sleepovers? Why or why not? Or will you let them do sleepovers if your kid's too small? So we got some good answers on this one. I was the weird kid growing up. For many reasons, but this was one of them. I was never allowed to do sleepovers. Like that was a hard no. I think I was like the only one out of our friends.
Yeah,
They
I
couldn't do
remember
sleepovers.
having 1 or 2 sleepovers with you growing
Dude,
up.
it was like crazy
From-
party time.
From 2nd grade to senior year.
Yeah. I remember sleeping over at your house once.
Slept on
like
the
it was
futon.
only like if you had a really
We've
good
got a good story about it too.
reason. Oh yeah.
The
This
one
is a good
time.
story.
So yeah, I only was allowed to do sleepovers like crazy rare. I don't like it had to be like a really really good reason.
Stars had to align.
Yeah, and like one
had
of
to
the
beg
things
your
my
parents.
parents were way into was like wrestling. My kids all my siblings were into wrestling. My brother was like really good. All my older brothers were like really good wrestlers. I hated it growing up. Like I was literally forced to do it.
Miserable.
Yeah, and so we were like in 8th or 9th grade.
Yep. Junior high.
And we had a wrestling tournament up in Salt Lake City, like 5 a.m. We had to wake up, or 4, some stupid, like the tournament started like at 6,
Yep.
right? 45-minute drive. So it was I don't even know why they let me do it.
I think we convinced them like it was early enough, and like your folks had some stuff going on. So I was
Yeah.
like, let's just have you sleep here. We'll get up and we'll just drive
Go
up. We
there.
don't have to
Yeah.
lose any time. We have to get up early enough.
Yeah,
It's
Mike's
probably worth it.
parents are going to drive us. My parents were busy or something. And so I got to sleep over at Mike's house. It was like a rare treat, right? Like I couldn't believe it. And so we had to wake up at like 4 a.m. and still that's disorientation time for sure. So so Mike's mom walks in, so we're both sleeping in his room. He's in his bed. I'm in like some futon thing, and you remember those futons with the side bars?
They're like the round bar.
Yeah, the round bar, dude. So they were like pretty high up, right? So it's probably like 6-7 inches between the bar and the mattress. So I was dead asleep, 4 a.m, and Mike's mom busts in the door to wake us up. And I mean, so I'm probably exaggerating this, but this is what I remember. Like, I felt like she like busts open the door like the Kool-Aid Man and turns the light on.
Yeah, she probably swept
immediately and just like, wake up, boys. And I was like, had my head under
the
during
bar.
the night, my head had slid under that bar.
Yeah.
I freaking shot up and murdered my head against that bar. Like so hard, and in the same moment,
So, in the same moment,
that was my side.
I'm waking up and I get a Charlie horse in my leg, like in my calf, and it's the deepest, most painful Charlie horse I've had to this day, and it wouldn't stop. It lasted probably 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like,
It happened.
I ended up like crying.
Your mom like startled you into a Charlie horse.
Yeah, I was startled into a
I
Charlie
don't know.
horse.
There's an emotionally reaction.
Yeah,
for a Charlie
simultaneously,
horse.
like she scared you into a Charlie horse, and I had like
And you
just
got a
concussed
concussion.
myself. Yeah, against the pole.
Lasted forever too. I just remember sitting there like
I
and
remember
it not
you
going
just-
away.
Yeah, we were like in 8th grade. I just remember you saying the most. You had riddled that room with curse words, and your mom was so baffled. She was just sitting there, just
LaRue?
wide-eyed. Yeah, your mom was so
In
stunned.
shock.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, and then we
You don't have a choice in the matter.
Yeah, so that was like literally the last sleepover I had, and then we went to the tournament. And I remember just this dude kicked my ass, and we got killed.
Because you were concussed and
I was
you
concussed.
didn't know where you were.
Yeah, I mean, not to get into the wrestling stories, but I remember looking at the dude. I was like, you find out who you're going to wrestle, right? It's a huge tournament, and they're like, oh, so and so and so and so, and you're supposed to like stand there. This dude was like on steroids, and this dude was shredded.
You just look over and
He had
there's
a
no one else gonna
mustache.
smash you.
Yeah, I looked over and I was like, oh, I'm dead. Yeah, I had lost before that we even started.
Such a bad feeling.
But at the same time, I was kind of pumped because I was like over it and I was so tired. I'm like, we need to like wrap this tournament up. You
Yeah,
know? And
yeah.
I think I lost, and we ended up going home at like 1 o'clock that day. It was like a 3-hour tournament, man. It was bad.
See,
But-
what a great memory from a sleepover.
What a great memory.
well, yeah.
You know?
But I agree.
Did you have
That's-
lots of sleepovers?
No, I was
when you were a
pissed
kid?
about not having sleepovers.
Every day. I
Yeah,
mean,
I had
every
tons,
day.
especially in the summer.
So like that's
Oh, yeah.
like where for me, like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that are scary about them, but I mean, I look at all the memories that I had, and if like, let's say I mean, just theoretically, because this could never happen, but let's say I go back in time, and my memory is intact up to this point, but I'm living in my house with my folks, and I say, hey, can I go have a sleepover at XYZ's friend's house? And they're
Yeah.
like, no. I'd be sad that I was missing out on a lot of the memories that I had.
Yeah, FOMO.
I'd miss
No, I had
out. I'd
gnarly
miss
FOMO.
out on memories, but
My
I got
FOMO
into
was-
so much trouble when I was into a sleepover
Think about all the
with the
bad things you
Adamson
did in
brothers.
life. Yeah, think about all the bad things you did in life and at what time they occurred, and it was.
It was always
Yeah,
at
but,
night.
like-
It was always at night.
But at
It's
what
always
point?
after.
At what point do you just try and filter out all of those experiences? Like you're just going to have a plain vanilla child that is.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
don't
arguing
know.
with you.
Filtering out experiences like that for your kids, I don't know.
A little trauma makes your kids interesting.
See, I'm a
Just
big
little
fan
bit.
of the. I mean, we've talked about this before, but just the
Yeah.
human experience and like a lot of the things that I've done through my life, like good or bad, like
Yeah.
there's not very many things where I was like, I wish I could remove this memory from my life.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But I mean, let's come back. Let's read a bunch of these and we'll come back and argue this at the end. But so what's your vote? Yes.
It would be. I mean,
Yes, let your kids do sleepovers.
before I knew I was coming on, I wrote a response in, and I said probably. I said it probably for me depends on the age of my child and the maturity, and then the situation of where they're going to be, whether or not I know the people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm never going to place my kids into a dangerous situation.
Yeah, you're
and
just
if,
willy-nilly.
And if I'm not comfortable with it, I mean, I'm not going to proceed. I think that parents have a really good sense of. I don't know, call it intuition about people and
Yeah.
the situations that they're in, but like to just say it's never going to happen, I don't know.
That's what we're gonna do.
I'll evaluate it on a case by case basis probably, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not super worried about my kids getting hurt or molested at
Yeah.
15 or 16 years old.
Well,
I just think at that point it's pretty remote. But like right now,
When
for
they're
where
11,
they're
10,
for where they're, I mean,
9.
probably before 13 or 14, I would probably it would be situational, and it would probably be, I don't know. It's hard for me to say.
Okay, I'm a hard no.
I'm a
Collin,
hard
what
no.
are you? Hard no.
for
Okay, well, let's
sure.
read some of
Yeah.
these responses. We'll come back and redebate. So, a couple. Orrin Hancock. He has just like his kid's super young, but he gives his responses. Chase Hansen says it's a bad idea. So Chase Hansen, he was the one that he was on episode 3. So this is actually, I wanted to bring this up. So Chase Hansen is one of our buddies. He is a prosecuting attorney for a juvenile court, basically in one of the cities here. He told me, like, we used to play basketball before I completely murdered my back last week, and now I'm just can't play basketball ever again. But he told me after basketball one day, he's like, dude, I had a case yesterday, and this whole last like year or whatever, every single case has been of like kids getting molested or kids
Abused
doing
or
the
something.
molesting.
Yeah.
It's like 95% of the time it's at a sleepover. Mm-hmm. So he basically told me, he knows I have 2 girls. His kids are a lot younger than mine, and he told me after ball, he's like, dude, like if it were me giving you my kind of inside track, I would never allow sleepovers.
Yeah.
Just because all the time, it's not saying every time it's going to happen, but out of all the bad things that happened, 95% of the time it was on a sleepover.
Well, just like
too
one
bad.
time.
It was the brother
it's like,
or
it's
the
not
uncle
like
or
it's
the-
likely or whatever. I know people who have been, they were molested by an older brother. They had a sleepover. It's just,
That's sad.
it takes
That's
one
horrible.
time.
Yeah, it takes one time to be like, oh, dang it. Should, and
Yeah, it's like,
to me, it's not
I
worth it.
thought they were so trustworthy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know. Somebody's crazy.
And I used to think only girls, though, but like it happens to boys almost just as much.
Yeah, it does.
You know?
It's unfortunate.
So, and I'm not trying to make this all dark, but like his was like, he had a couple stories that were like blew my mind.
Yeah.
Just about like, like 8-year-old girls getting molested by 15-year-old brothers,
Right.
friends at a
Yeah.
sleepover, and then the dad finding out and like beating the kid half to death.
Yep.
And so now the dad's in prison for beating up his kid, and the girl's been molested. Like it's just, you just jacked up your family in
it's
a series of
huge-
20 minutes.
Yeah,
Not even-
some of my first sleepovers though with friends would have been at Chase Hansen's house. I mean,
Oh yeah, he allowed. Yeah.
for me.
Didn't you say you were at his house one time and you guys were?
Oh yeah, one time
1 in the morning, and then he woke his
It wasn't
dad
quite
up.
1 in the morning, but we were hanging out, and it was probably 11:30, and his whole family was in bed. We were playing video games, and I don't know. I mean, Chase Hansen's house was like ground zero for my obesity. Like I was always a little bit bigger, but when he and I really started hanging out, he and I really started hanging out a lot in 4th or 5th grade. I mean, he and I would eat. I mean,
He had the best food. I will tell you that.
yeah, we'd bake a Red Baron pizza about every hour and split
Red
it.
Baron.
So
Red
so
Baron.
at any rate, it was probably like 11:30 at night. His parents are asleep, and we look at each other, and I'm like, "Man, I'm pretty hungry." And he's like, let me go wake up my dad and have him make us some grilled cheeses." So he made grilled cheeses with Velveeta cheese, and they were incredible. So Chase just sprints in there, wakes up his dad, and his dad is the
From a dead
nicest.
sleep.
His dad is the nicest human being in the world.
that's
Gets
funny.
up. I remember him making the grilled cheese for us, like just half asleep.
Just didn't
and it was
care at all.
It was incredible. I was probably 10 at the time, but I mean,
He didn't yell. He didn't
No,
do anything.
no, he's
He's
a-
like,
that's
I
the
would love
shocking
to
part.
make you a
Yeah,
grilled cheese
he's the nicest
sandwich."
guy in the whole
That's
world.
the shocking part of the story. If that was
So-
me, dude, my kid wakes me up.
Yeah, I'd be like, is this a joke? Are you joking right now?
Yeah.
Go to bed.
I'd be so angry.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that this stuff happens. I mean, what I would, like I said, I think people latch on to things that scare them, or we live in a state of fear because of the stories that we hear, and unfortunately, the stories that we hear are the ones that are normally negative because it seems like that's what human beings gravitate to.
Oh yeah, like we were talking about that earlier. Yeah, the negative.
So,
news.
so I
Well,
mean,
it's
for
not
me,
the majority,
it's like,
right? I mean, it's not.
well,
The negative stories are like what, 10%, 5%, 3%,
Yeah,
whatever
I'm
it is.
Well, what I'm saying is like no one's like I've never gone out to Fox 13 and said, I had the best sleepovers as a kid, like run a story on me. Like it's
Should
just
do
not
that.
exciting.
Tell that story about
Wholesome
the grilled cheese.
stories that don't work out.
So it's just not exciting, and so people don't hear about it. And so like that's one of the things with the media where like I mean
Yeah.
look at the coronavirus and what's happening. I think people latch on to fearful things. I do think that it happens. I think it's unfortunate, but I think you have a sense for people like growing up. like my parents knew who like Dale and Nancy Murphy were, or like Wendy and Cal Hunter.
Yeah,
like my parents know them, and
yeah.
like they're pretty normal people, and I think in those situations, like sure things can happen. I think for me, like I said, it's all going to be age and maturity, and if I feel like they're old enough to handle a situation or not get taken advantage of, I'm going to be fine with them going and doing it because of how great my memories were. I mean, I seriously have thousands of stories, and I bring them up, and we talk about them all the time, and I would be disappointed if I didn't have those memories.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I felt growing up. Like I said, I wasn't allowed to have sleepovers at all, so insane. That's probably where my phone.
I mean, for me, it's
feel like you missed out on all of it.
I mean, if you flip it a little bit, like I understand, like sexual assault. I mean, it's pretty heightened because it's just disgusting, and I think a lot of people are just abhor it, right? But I mean, think about it this way: like, would you let your kid go snowboarding with the chance that they could
or jump on the trampoline, right? Most kids get hurt on the trampoline.
Or break their arms or legs. I mean, it's just like, you just have to look at the situation and say, okay, what's my appetite? How risky is this situation for my kids? I mean, every one of us steps into a car every single day. And your chance of dying increases dramatically while you're driving on the road.
Yeah.
But it's a calculated risk. You can take measures to make it more safe.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things that you could do that, I mean, I think it would be super dangerous to just let your 8-year-old go over to someone's house that you don't know or that you've never met them.
Yeah, that's
I think
that happened the other day. I tell you,
that's
we told
just
you that story
negligence,
yesterday.
right?
Someone came over from like our church in our neighborhood and put like a note on the door to like, hey, have your kid come to like, it's like the
like a primary thing.
Yeah, like a Boy Scout equivalent for girls. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
Achievement Days.
Yes,
in the Mormon Church.
Right.
And so, anyway, someone came and like dropped something on sticky pad on the door. So Sloan sees them at the door. They didn't knock, just stuck it on there. Sees them at the door, and then she walks out to do something in the garbage, and the lady has already walked out of the house, and she's across the street now, and looks at Sloan. Sloan looks at her and doesn't say anything and just keeps walking. Sloan's like, what in the world? Just like some security salesman.
People have problems.
So then she went over and grabbed the note, and it's like, we want to have Coco over for Achievement Day tomorrow at 4:00. And she's like, oh, so you think I'm going to send my 8-year-old daughter to your house when you didn't even, like, you don't even want to
talk to me when we see each other face to face?
That's not a high-risk situation at all. Get the hell out of here. So
I mean, people just need to introduce themselves. Like, I mean, sometimes you gotta get out of your comfort zone to grow a little bit.
I'm not even talking about molestation, but just shit I got into and the sleepovers. We never slept, number one.
Oh,
so it's not a sleepover.
Zero sleeping.
Not sleeping.
Well,
We'd sleep on the tramp. We'd always sneak off. And I grew up with the Adamson brothers, so we would always like shoot out somene's lights or windows
who would we compare them to?
I loved having sleepovers at their
Kill a
house,
Mockingbird.
I thought their parents were pretty fun people. Sleeping over at Wade's house was fun.
His dad
it was a riot.
When they lived up here
I remember
in Cedar
every
Hills,
one
I had
of
some
them.
great times.
His dad looks exactly like Jay Leno. Remember, he was on Jay Leno.
Yep.
He used to get free meals and stuff because they'd be like, he
was such a
looked like
goofy
Jay
guy.
Leno, and he'd just say, he's the funniest dude.
Yeah, he was so fun.
Jay Leno look-alike. A couple more of these. Well, I guess we haven't even gotten into them really. Cram Fitness. So he says no on sleepovers. Psychologist dads, students had issues from sleepovers. Same said by friends. Grant Cummings.
Physiologist dads, students had issues from sleepovers.
I think it meant psychologists. I think it's just typo. Maybe it's physiologists. I don't know what they do. I wish we had a fact checker on this episode. They could tell us.
They're strictly
Grant
dedicated
Cummings,
to sleepover.
Hell no, a lot of child predators and naked twister parties. No, just too much risk, minimal reward, like the idea of late overs. Never heard of that. So they're over till like super late and then you go get them.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that would change your risk of sexual assault.
Well, I'm assuming the parents would probably be up for it.
Yeah, that'd still be up.
Rachel Wimpy, no, too young, too risky. Caitlin Wiki, bet is hard enough. She also says maybe at my house in the future, but that sounds like a lot to handle. Getting one kid to bet is hard enough. That's what she meant.
I mean, to actually talk about it, I'd probably, I don't know.
How many times did your friend's dad come down and be like, "Shut the hell up and go to sleep now. It's 2 a.m."
I mean, that seems like that was our goal every time we had a sleepover.
Exactly.
Like
You wait until the parents get real pissed.
There were some times
fine.
where we'd come home and we'd be walking into Tim's house at 6 a.m. and Maya's up getting
mom.
ready. Yeah, Tim's mom is up. She's chasing us through the house, yelling at us, "Where have you been? Where have you guys been?" And Tim and I are just laughing. We dive into Tim's bed and just
Shut the door. Yeah. Lock yourself.
Yeah,
Sleep till 2 in the afternoon.
we just don't acknowledge her yelling at us, and we're just laughing our asses off.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember them, getting up to go,
whatever, yeah.
early activities on Sunday morning, and we'd be eating cereal at 5 a.m. in the morning, and
They just think you just haven't yet to shut your eyes to sleep. Sitting pretty girl, we do not, even with relatives, know too many people that have been molested. Sachi Thornley, no, because I don't want to feel, this is pretty funny. No, I don't want to feel obligated to reciprocate and have their kids sleep at my house.
Yeah.
How rough
Fair
would you,
enough.
that would hurt my ego, I think. If I had kids that were sleeping over and like no one ever wanted
and
to
then they're
sleep at
like,
my
"No,
house.
they
Like,
can't
this is
sleep
a
over
strict
there.
dad,
It doesn't go that way."
Like, no, you guys want to hang out with me?
Yeah.
No?
That's the thing. You're saying you would judge it based on the person. So what if they're your kid's best friend and you're like, "Nah, you're not going over there."
wait, what do you mean?
So like it's me and you. If like
Yeah.
you guys can Matt, your kids are okay to sleep in my house, but no way in hell I'm letting my kids
the
sleep
other
in
way
your house.
around. You're like, "How come they never sleep over?"
Then you're just too sad.
Chalk it up to, I mean, a mental block or whatever you want to call it.
A mental block.
I mean, I think generally, the people that you associate with, things happen.
You don't pick who your kids are friends
I mean,
with.
It's a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
Hanging out with kids, friends who you don't know.
Yeah, you got to hang out with their parents.
Yeah, that's out.
And you're just
That's why I
like,
try
"Hey,
to
you
force
can't be
my
friends
kids.
with them anymore because
Yeah, I
we
try
don't
to
get
force
along."
my kids to like. I mean, we've had kids that have been friends forever, and I'm like trying to force them to hang out with your kids so we can all still hang out.
Yeah.
Okay, Rika Smith, no and never. Keeping her safe and knowing that she's home makes me sleep at night. Let's get a dad in
You
here.
could just
Summer
keep her
song.
at home forever,
Yeah.
and then nothing would ever happen to them, and they would just live by your side for the rest
You
of
can
your
get
life.
one of those bubbles they could live
That
in.
would be
The bubble.
Yeah, then nothing would ever happen.
I see
And
you're
you'd
right.
always have them just right next to you.
You say that
Summer
that's a
sauce,
bad
dude.
thing, but some moms
I
like,
mean,
"Hell yeah."
They're like, no,
I agree with Mike.
I like this guy. I like
Yeah.
this guy.
I mean,
Mike.
hell,
He's
we
talking.
talked about this before, but like at what point do you just filter everything out and say, you're never stepping out of the house? Because if you're here and you eat healthy and you exercise indoors here, like your chance of dying
Yeah,
is
you
just
kind
nothing bad will ever happen to you now.
You can utopium for sure.
They
And
won't
the ones
catch
that, the kids
coronavirus.
that get like that turn out to be the worst kids.
Yeah, I agree.
Case in point, look at my family. couldn't talk to girls on the phone until we were 16. Couldn't date until we couldn't do sleepovers, and then, I mean, my brothers all turned out okay, but like, we were,
So that's a bad example.
Like I said, I
hardest
think
kids on the block.
I think we live in a state of heightened fear.
See, we're
because of
fine.
the
We couldn't
media.
do anything.
I think we live in. I think we're living in fear a little bit.
Yeah,
I think that's
agree.
true.
I
Have you
agree.
read that Malcolm Gladwell book where he talks
one?
about how they're like, I can't remember which one it is, but he's
Tipping
talking
point.
about how parents will not let their kids go to a neighbor's house because they have guns.
Yeah.
But they're like, but they'll let them go jump on the trampoline.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
far more kids are hurt by trampolines
Yeah.
than guns.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, I
just,
mean, and a lot of people like to say, it seems like the world is getting worse or more dangerous or whatever it is. But I mean, if you look at crime statistics since the early
since
90s,
the 90s, yeah,
it's
far,
so
far
we live
better.
in a safer world, and I think it's only going to get safer with technology.
Yeah.
People are more aware. People now that they know that these things have been happening, people are talking to their kids about it, about how to what
Avoid
to do,
it,
what
yeah.
to do if things do happen. I mean, I think part of it's just a conversation with your kids.
straight up, yeah. I
But,
agree
I mean,
with that.
I don't think that that's going to be like the end all, like nothing is ever going to happen. But I think you can arm your kids with tools to help them navigate through whatever it is, whether it's up on the mountain snowboarding on how to be safe when you're out there and not to cause an avalanche or get
Yeah,
stuck
yeah.
in a bad situation. Like
Yeah.
you just got to prepare your kids. You can't keep them inside for the rest of their lives.
That's true.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. Yeah. I have a lot harder conversations than my parents ever did with me, Like,
Yeah.
we went to maturation program, and it's like, okay, that's the end of that. we'll never talk about this again,
Yeah,
right?
seriously.
And then I tell my kids all the time, they're like, hey, what's puberty? I'm like, well, this will happen
Sit
and this will
down,
happen.
boys.
They're like laughing and stuff,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
might as well talk to them
Yeah, at
about
least
it.
you have the open line of communication.
And that's one of my favorite things to do is to explain things that Maddie wants to know about. I think
Right.
for whatever reason, our parents and that generation, it's kind of the stoic, silent type. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I like to talk to her about everything she's got questions about.
straight up, so do I. I'll be like, I don't know why sharks don't sleep. Let's look it up on Google.
Summer sauce. So we're gonna get some dad's answers here. I don't because I know what I did at sleepovers. It was never good. Hildoria, they are too young currently, but I probably won't unless it's a trusted family. So it's kind of the same thing. Court Francis says nope. Daniel McDaniel Tanner, he says nope, not even with cousins. I did CPS for a few years, and way too many cases started with sleepovers. Job Beast.
Well, I mean, to that point, it's like,
well, they're only hearing about the cases that were,
it's like, put it this way, like let's say their job was cleaning up car accidents, and they see all the wreckage.
Yeah.
It's like every day you're at car accidents.
Yeah, of course you'd be stunned.
It's
Yeah,
in the
you'd be like,
forefront
should
of
I
your
ever
mind.
drive in a car again? Like, it's probably scared them enough just because of their situation.
Yeah, well, it's like the whole Chase Hansen thing. Yeah. If that's in your daily day to day, then of course you're going to be so stunned about
Yeah.
it.
But I do know that molestation is like the most underreported thing too.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
That's another
So
thing
from
too.
what you hear about is probably very minimal
It's
compared to
getting-
what's real.
You'd have to think it's getting
happening.
better though, right? Like with our
I
parents.
would like to think it's better.
From our parents to
open.
our age to now our kids, like we talk to our kids way more about that, and
I
they're
would
way
say so,
more
yeah,
aware
for
about
sure.
it
Mhm.
than my parents never talked about. Hey, be careful you don't get molested.
Well, I
guess
don't
what
think
your
my
boys-
parents even thought that was
a threat.
a thing for me. Like,
Do you
I don't
think that
they
was
ever
like,
thought like
you're not cute enough? You probably won't
Yeah,
get
probably.
molested.
They're like, he's too pudgy. He's not
man.
desirable.
My parents didn't talk to me about it either. Maybe that's a sign.
They're like, he's at no
I'm not
risk.
really worried
Well,
about that
I mean,
one.
I think it's just being more aware. Just because of the internet, like information is just so readily available
It's Horror Story
now
Central.
versus
True.
even 30 or 40 years ago. Like, it's just different.
Yeah, I agree.
True.
Job East. We don't plan on it. There's no point. I would let them have a late night and pick them up. Same thing. My parents didn't because they didn't want their house messed up. That's awesome. Carson Hancock. Trevor took no too many creeps out there, and there's always trouble at sleepovers. This is a good reason. Jeb Minton, Jessica Minton. No, they are monsters the next day because no sleep. I don't want to worry. I want them safe at home. So like just basically if they don't sleep in their own bed, they turn out to be crazy.
Yeah,
the next
that's
day.
true.
Yeah.
D. Jones molested or a random friend will come over. I've known. Okay, this is a 3-piece, or I got to piece this together. Okay, no, never. Even if you feel like there's someone you trust, or you never know if an uncle or a random friend will come over. I've known too many people who have had their kids been molested or hurt. But then at the same time, Mr. Mathlete comes in here and says only in grandparents' houses.
My kids are allowed to have sleepovers with cousins at grandparents' house.
Yeah,
That's bad.
but you also got to be careful because your grandparent, like not my parents, but
I think
like
they
your
say
grandparents might be.
statistically a family member is the most
Yeah, it's
likely
like
to molest you.
95%
that's
of
true.
the time.
So, but it's like, I don't know. A lot of people use statistics to push an agenda that makes people fearful when, like, if you take it in totality of all of the outcomes, I think.
Well, that statistic's super high
about-
because most kids probably have sleepovers
Well,
with family
And
members,
because
right?
they're with family,
way more than
and because
friends.
they're with
yeah.
Way
family
more.
members almost all the time. So it's
So
like,
you have a way higher chance, if you drive in your car 90% of your work day, then you're going to get in an accident. You're more
Yeah.
likely to get in an accident than somebody else.
Yeah, I'm not
you
going to
know?
let's assume I did do sleepovers. I would not, for sure, never let them sleep at some kid's house that the parents I've never met at their school.
Right,
Or the
right.
first time I
would
meet
you
them is
let
when
would
they
you let
come
Maddie
over.
sleep at your house when she's 14 years old?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like at my house,
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't got to that point yet. That's a tough rule.
I'll think about it when it
Because if I
comes.
say no sleepovers, do I be strict? Or
I don't know.
That's why I asked this question.
I mean,
Well, how
people
many
like
times
to.
did you sneak out when you slept over? So you're saying like at
every
15
time.
you would do it?
Every time.
Every time
How
we
many
slept,
times?
we
100%
snuck
of the
out.
time,
But, I mean,
every time.
we already hashed this
It's
out.
like, oh, we're going to bed, and then we're out the window,
I
right?
used to just sneak out because I'd have FOMO about the sleepovers. I would just sneak out of my own house to go join
and
the
watch them
sleepovers.
sleep. You'd
Yeah,
watch,
I'd walk
look in the
in.
window, and just watch
I'd
them
watch
sleep.
you guys sleep.
So you didn't miss out
Zero
on it.
sleeping was going on over there. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, no one sleeps. I mean, it's all an experience.
Yeah.
That's what it is for me.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, yeah, there's going to be different sides of the opinion. I think that I don't know. I still don't know. Yeah, would I let Maddie come sleep at our house? Yeah, probably. Am I going to tell the kids that now? No, because then they'll think they
Yeah,
have
they'll just
sleepover
ask from here till
with
then.
little Betty in this class, and I don't want to have them over at their parents' house.
I mean, I just think
You have
that
no
Betty's
idea who's-
shady
you
as
have
hell.
you have no idea if Betty's big brother
I
is
just
16
think-
and his freaking rapist friend is there.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think you're doing yourself a little bit of a disservice if you just if it's a
Hard
hard no,
no.
without any situation or thought or evaluation about the circumstance or where they're at or
Yeah.
what's happening. I mean,
Well, this reminds me of something. We had this discussion with my ex-wife's, her sister and her husband.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they slept over at their house, and we had a discussion about it. And we said, like, let us know if anybody else comes over, friends of your kids, stuff like
100%,
that.
yeah.
And she one time sent us a text and said, "Oh, Nixon, their son, has a friend coming over. Is that okay?" And we're like, "Do you know that friend? Do you know?" And we asked the question. They're like, "Yeah, and he's not sleeping over, and they'll be gone and stuff." And we said, "That's fine."
Yeah. I'm gonna bio on
But
this
we
kid.
we talked back and forth. Yeah, I'm like, "What's his Instagram?
Yeah,
we'll
dude,
look
his
him
handle.
up." Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think you
I
certainly
mean, he
should
was like
be,
11.
Oh yeah.
I think you certainly should be vigilant in protecting your children.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just saying like whatever happens
Throw
happens
caution
and
to the
it's
wind.
just like let's let fate decide. Like
It's a human experience.
Survival of
Like-
the fittest, Mike. Survival.
like
of the fittest.
I think you should try and do everything you can, but like I don't know, filtering everything out I just don't think is great.
Yeah.
It just
And
takes a lot of work.
and
Is
maybe-
that what
and-
you're
and-
like, you have to pay a lot of attention and ask a lot of questions, and I'd rather not.
Yeah. But I mean, do you think you grew up like all right? Like even though you
I
snuck
survived.
out? Yeah, I mean,
I survived. I love that. I survived too. We made it
Survived.
through.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
you,
made
you,
it.
You do some bad things.
I made it to here.
You have some good
I'm
memories.
still alive.
I mean, people advance. I mean, humanity finds a way. the population.
That's going to be the name
Jeff
of the episode.
Goldblum.
Humanity finds a
I
way.
mean, the population of the world has doubled since 1950. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
It's because all those kids are sneaking out.
the wheel keeps
having
turning.
babies.
Porking, yeah.
Yeah.
so,
Okay,
I
let's
don't
move
know.
on to the next question. I know we need to revisit this when the kids are teenagers and actually like it's an
Yeah.
actual question.
Once they start sneaking out.
That's why some of these answers like some of these guys, some are shots those older kids, some of these people that answered that their
Yeah,
kids
'cause-
aren't doing it, like I don't know.
I mean, if you say no sleepovers, I mean, how likely is your kid just to sneak out and then you have no idea where they are or where they're going,
Well, then you're
rather
right.
than
That's true.
rather than them saying, "Yeah, I'm going here
And then sneaking
to
out from
Nate's
there.
house to hang
Yeah.
out with his kids," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, I've known Nate my whole life.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
normal
that's fair
people.
enough. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I'd rather have her there than sneak out and be at someone's house who I don't know where they're at, and then I get a phone call.
Yeah, I agree.
They're
And then
drunk
people-
in a ditch.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next question. This one, when do you stop letting your kids sleep in your bed? So a lot of people are just straight up never, don't even start, never have, never will, Chad 808. I think this is more like, the whole co-sleeping thing, I'm not even going to get into that because it's so such a freaking controversial issue. But I'm talking about when, they're in their own bed, but then they come and try to sleep in your bed.
They have like a
At
nightmare
what
or
age?
something.
Yeah,
and
what
they're
age?
like, I want to come sleep in your bed.
So Grant Cummings, I've never cared. The wife is anti-kids from day one. Jared McCooper, if one of us is out of town, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's exactly how we are too. At the rate I ruined my kids' sleeping habits, never. So that's Cassidy saying that they're basically never going to not sleep in their bed. Rachel Wimpy, the day they are born, but for real, can't sleep a wink if the kids are in my bed. I can't sleep if the kids
I can't
are in my
sleep
bed, dude.
at all.
My kids sprawl. They do gymnastics in there. while
Kick me in the
sleeping.
face. I've been slapped so
yeah.
many
I
times.
sleep fine, but I've been kicked in the face by Henry.
My kids grind their teeth too.
Oh, they do?
And so I've literally in the middle of the night gone and got tissue and stuffed it in my ears
can't
because I'm just
fathom?
like, holy
Oh,
shit.
that's rough.
This kid's over here just like,
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst noise
it
ever.
wakes me up.
That's horrible.
I can't stand it.
That is awful. Yeah, a lot of people are saying don't ever start. JH Melt, why would you ever let them sleep in your bed? That's crazy talk. We let our kids sleep in our bed like, I don't know, I can't remember like how old, but it was like after they're past the risk of like rolling over them, killing them, you know?
Yeah.
I don't
Suffocating
know,
them in their
maybe like
sleep.
8 months, year and a half, 2. Like it's just sometimes when they're that small and they don't move yet, they just chill.
Yeah, they just
I don't
lay
mind
in
that.
the same position all
Yeah,
night.
they don't move and they're kind of like off on the side. They have so many cool things now where it's like the bassinet that like attaches to your bed. None of that
Yeah.
stuff was around when we
You
were
just
lot
can
of
just push them
attachments,
over
a lot of
into it.
a lot of
gizmos and
gadgets, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time. It's like telling the kid like a lot of times, hey, can I sleep with you? I'll just say hard no, but then they'll either sneak in,
Yeah.
or they'll like, you know,
Stand at the foot of your bed and scare the hell out of you.
yeah, and say, hey, can I sleep in your bed? But then I'm like, if they're already asleep and I wake up to them kicking me, chances of me actually kicking them out are pretty slim. Because then it just
Because
like,
you're so
wakes-
tired, you
so
won't
tired.
put them back.
Oh, I get so
Well,
yeah.
then you get
I'd do
fearful. Like
it.
if you wake them up now, like are they just going to stay up
for the next
and
hour.
it's like
Yeah.
5:45 in the morning, and you're like, well, am I going to wreck my day here?
Yeah, yeah, but then that's the thing. You're so tired, just leave them there. But then
You're
one
not
day,
gonna
one day
sleep.
turns into 2 days, turns into months,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
like our girls sleep in their own beds, but they probably twice, 3 times a week, one of them ends up in our bed,
Yeah.
and I either wake up way too tired in the middle of the night, and then or I just. I've always told the kids, if you do it tonight, I'm going to literally just kick you out until kick you on the floor. But I've never.
You haven't done
punch
it
them
yet?
out of the bed.
How high is your bed?
Yeah, my bed's pretty high. Like they'd probably get jacked. Like hit the side table on their way down, like on their head or
A
something.
$1 million baby
Yeah,
themselves.
exactly. So I was gonna. Yeah, I always.
So do you
I
let
always
you let
threaten it.
both of them come in at the same
No,
time?
if
or
it-
does
if
that
it- if
happen?
it gets
is it
two-
first mover is the winner?
First mover's the winner
Yeah,
usually.
I mean, that's
it's actually
pretty
funny. That's never happened where they both try to come in. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty rare.
I
Maybe
mean,
like
that
once
should
a
be
year
illegal.
that happens.
I mean,
Maybe they see the other one and they're like, oh, it's too late.
Yeah, I think that might happen. I should ask them. I've actually never asked them.
Yeah.
Why they never do it at the same time?
Yeah, they've never been in. That's funny. I've never thought about that.
Well, I think the limit's 1, or else the fire marshal comes and finds you.
It's a liability
If you
issue.
have more
is
than
what
one
that
kid in your
is.
bed, I mean, that's
But maybe subconsciously they wake up and see the other one and they just turn back and go back to their
Yeah,
bed.
there's
and they're
no-
like,
there's
oh,
no
shoot.
space.
You ask them the next day and they probably don't even know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask them when I get home. Actually,
Yeah, because Henry, I mean, he'll wake up a bunch. I mean, he's in our bed most mornings. We always try and put them to sleep in their own beds because I do think they sleep better. But sometimes
Yeah.
Henry will get up. He's 3. I mean, he climbs in and
yeah.
I mean, he just gets lost in the
He
sheets. You
burrows.
don't even know you don't even know he's there.
He's like at your foot of your bed,
Yeah.
sleeping,
Yeah,
hanging
he's
in
still
the
he's
tucked
still
in
pretty
sheet.
small. Yeah, a lot of people are saying they never slept in our bed, which
I don't know how
I
they
don't
did
know
that.
if
I
that's
mean,
true.
My
or-
kids
How-
hardly ever sleep in my bed unless they're sick.
Even when they were little,
I
though?
let that. Hell no.
you
When
just
they were
take a
like-
stand.
That's like a contraception. You know, it's
Yeah,
like
that's
you're
true.
never gonna have kids again.
it's actually a good
You
idea.
What are
just
you
take
gonna
us
do?
like a hard stand against your kids. I always just
I pick them up. I'll pick them up in the middle of the night and I'll take them back to their bed.
Yeah,
always
I've
just
done
feel
that.
bad
I've done
for
that a
him.
lot, but I also sometimes I'm just so tired and so delirious that I
Yeah.
just like look over. I'm like, is that my wife? Is that one of my kids? I don't know what's going
You
on.
don't
I just
know.
text them.
I mean, at a certain. I mean, for me, it's. I feel like kind of just the stage of life that my kids are in. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
they're
a couple of
young.
years, Maddie will never sleep in our bed again, and Henry in a couple of years as well. And it's like, I just feel like it's kind of that stage of life.
You just
Yeah,
figure
that's
they'll grow
too-
out
You're
of
just
it.
raising.
Nostalgic, yeah.
You're just raising children, and like, I mean, I have some good memories of like waking up in the morning and like Henry's like looking at me, and he looks like he's got something funny on his mind, and like he's in a good mood. and
talk
it's
to
just,
him?
I mean, I think it's just part of the experience or part of the age that they're
Yeah.
at.
Well, my kids come and cuddle with me every morning. Like this morning,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
came and lay in bed with me, and we like sit and talk and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, that happens.
They just
a lot.
get sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell when they sleep in my bed. We'll drive anywhere, and I'll look back, and they're just out
They're out. They
cold.
don't sleep as well.
Yeah,
Yeah. A lot of people, yeah. Most everybody on here said, like, Ace Hansen can't let them. can't let them in ever, or else you're stuck with them for the long haul. Hasn't happened yet.
Did you read mine?
Oh, yesterday, but I gave in today. ASAP, this is McDaniel Tanner. ASAP, I need sleep. If they're scared, they can have the floor. I've tried that out too, but I feel too bad. Kyle Broadhead, about 2, but then I ended up in his bed every night until about age 3. I've never done that where I stay in their bed.
Neither have I. It's too uncomfortable.
That's shattered body.
I've broken too much furniture to sit on anything made for children. I mean,
Bunk beds.
I had to order like a steel reinforced frame off Amazon.
Does that double layer?
Well, I think until I got this new frame, I think I've broken every bed I've ever been on. I mean, I have a tendency to pounce, like I just get I get excited when I'm running up to the bed and I kind of pounce on there, and like I've broken a lot of frames. My family, my parents used to get so mad
because you'd break the frames all the time.
Like every 6 months. I'd do this thing where I'd sprint down the stairs and I'd run because in my house you go downstairs and then you've got like kind of an open area kitchen and then you turn the corner and that's where the room's at. So I would sprint down the stairs,
just
come into my room and just like jump. like a couple feet sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I'd take a good leap into my bed and I broke so many beds.
They get so pissed.
Yeah.
Surprised they didn't just like make you put it on the floor after that, Like after a while, you're like,
yeah, put the box spring on the floor.
Yeah, no more frames.
Yeah,
Get you a grass mat.
That's what it ended up being.
It's a gymnastics mat.
After a while.
I don't ever remember. I mean, I grew up with 1,000.
I mean, I think that futon we were sleeping on was broken, actually.
That's probably why I slid
After you
underneath.
banged your head on
it. It was
it.
a 30-degree angle.
dropped.
That's why
Yeah,
I
you
slid
probably
out.
slid backwards, backslid off.
Slid underneath.
I did. It was a slight incline, a slight decline, like doing decline bench.
All the blood rushed to your head.
Yeah, I woke up. I'm still concussed from that day. Yeah, I don't remember. Do you guys? I had 1,000 siblings, so I never did this. But do you guys ever remember sleeping with your parents when you
No.
were little? Never.
They'd make me sleep on the floor if I ever did.
I don't ever remember sleeping on their floor. I remember like coming in one night and being scared. I had like some nightmare about something, and then I think I just got like turned back and sent back to my bed. Just like figure it out.
Yeah.
But we also shared rooms too. Like we were like always like
Right.
at least
You
one or
had
two other
somebody.
boys in the room with you.
To tell you to go back to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. No one ever comforted. It was just
Oh, everyone just started
idiot.
screaming at you.
Yeah. Keep it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Shut
me.
up.
Just in New York City. Yeah. Most everyone else is basically saying like hard pass, like hard no on letting kids sleep in your bed. This one was funny. I thought about this actually while I was in the bathroom because that's so who hides in the bathroom more, mom or dad, as far as like to get away from the kids, right? So you go in there, the occasional every once in a while you forget your phone and it's just a quick in and out like it should be.
Yeah.
But who hides more in the bathroom between mom and dad from the kids? We had a lot of moms answer. So I'm surprised more dads didn't try to defend themselves. But
Oh, I definitely did not try to defend myself.
I'm going to guess it's mostly dads, probably. They're
some
hiding
moms,
out.
yeah, some moms admit it. Like Cram Fitness, me, the mom, Grant Cummings, definitely the mom. They claim they've had the longest day ever. When I get home, every day I get home from work.
I mean, for me, I feel like Jenny never goes to the bathroom. So I mean, unless she does it,
she still has yet to
Keep
go to
the
bathroom.
mystery.
unless she does it during the day, like when Henry's at home, and like if she wants to get a second to herself, like and I'm not
Yeah.
there, but otherwise, yeah, Jenny's
That's
like
you.
never in the bathroom.
Yeah, and with me, it's probably me. Well, yeah, both of us, I think.
Not even.
I don't know.
I mean, sometimes you just need to sit down, a man
It's
in his
me.
thoughts.
And then the kids will knock on the door. What are you doing in there, Dad? I'm like, dude. And then
What do you think I'm doing?
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
making
I'm
breakfast.
scrolling the ground. Jeremy Cooper, definitely dad. Sometimes I play dumb video games and close the door when the kids call me. Both her hour-long makeup and watch a show and my podcast dump and shower. Chat 808. Hopefully this podcast, Pop and Dad for sure. His poops are longer than my shower.
I'm sure Jenny feels that way.
Rachel Wimpy, Dad for sure. Kids have a mom radar and know the second you sit on the toilet, which is actually true. Every time.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing too. Lock the door. Like I lock the door Sloan never locks the door, and that's her own fault.
I
Can you
used to
imagine?
not,
Hey,
and I had to.
You
Yeah.
made your bed, you lay on it, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no
You
way.
lock the door. You don't want to get walking on. Lock the door.
Oh, I
Well-
start running because my kids, if they know I'm going to the bathroom, will try and slide in. And I pinched
Before
his
you can
fingers in the
lock it.
door before trying to lock him out.
It's full sprint. Caitlin Whitkey, me, I'm hiding from them both, though. Talking about the dad, too. Sitting pretty girl, dad for sure. Rika Smith, dad hands down. Summer sauce, mom has to hide. They kids don't really look for dads as much. That's true. Hildoria, me for sure. I'm with them 24/7, so I have to. Kelsey, this is my brother, my sister-in-law, Kelsey Flake, dad. Jesse Draper, dad. Got to find those memes somehow. Got to find those lit memes somehow. Tom, dad for sure. So a lot of wives are just roasting the dads. And then Mike, this is you, dad, just a man in his thoughts. McDaniel Tanner, dad, most definitely. Mom gets swarmed as soon as she enters. Kellen Levitt, me by far. Kellen's got those bath time rituals too. He's in the bathroom for days.
Yeah, I mean,
He lights those candles.
I've finally got a bath that's big enough for me in my house now. So, yeah, I'll draw a bath 3 or 4 times a week.
Light some candles.
I'm out on the
Put
bath.
some
dude.
salts in there.
I'm out on the baths. I don't like them.
I like taking long
Unless you're sitting
showers.
in your own
I
filth.
can sit and think. I'll sit
Yeah,
I mean,
there
I-
forever.
spots in the
I
shower.
typically rinse off in the shower before I get in the bath.
No, after.
I mean, I don't just let it, like, all of it
Saute.
marinate.
It seems like a
Oh,
long process.
I'm not a fan of the bath at all. Unless it's like
You sit in your own
jetted or
juices.
something.
Well, that's why I said I shower up before.
Right. You mean after?
But then after
You
too.
mean before?
Before.
Oh,
And
so
after.
you're
And
clean.
after.
Oh, so you
Oh,
got
you do
clean
a
juice.
shower,
normally.
bath, shower combo?
Yeah, but like I'll just
Seems like a
rinse
process.
afterwards.
What kind of water here you guys
Yeah.
put over there, dude?
Like
Tank
What's
What's
your
traditionally,
bill like
if I'm
compared to your
If I'm
neighbors?
sitting in the bath to relax, I'll jump in the shower for 2 minutes, scrub off, get in the bath, and then afterwards I'll do a quick rinse, and then I'm done.
That's a lot of. That's a lot of.
I've got a routine. There's a checklist. I mean, there's things I've got to do.
Job East, mom, bathroom turns to bubble bath. Yep. For sure, dad. Carson, Christine. Mom showers equals 2 minutes. Dad showers 30 minutes. I do all my best thinking in the shower.
Yeah, me too. I take long showers.
I like
won't
to stretch. I
apologize
like
for
to
it.
stretch in the shower. Actually,
There's
like,
no chance.
No, I swear.
How big
I'm
of a
like-
shower do you
I mean,
have?
I'm not like sitting down or laying down and like.
Downward facing
But
dog.
like I'll stretch out my legs, like I'll lean down and touch my toes,
Do
and
the
like
calves.
I think it helps me out a lot actually.
Yeah, stretching's
because I'm a
good.
bigger guy, but like I'm fairly limber.
My shower. I shave my head though every other day in the shower. It's getting faster, but I mean, it takes
I need
a
to learn
minute.
how to do that.
Oh yeah, dude. I know that every little
It
inch of this.
it takes
is
me
bald
3
head.
years to wash my hair.
You give
so-
lessons.
Oh yeah, Colin's got. We need to. Maybe you'll see in the picture, but Colin's hair is down to your butt now.
Yeah, that's probably down to my butt.
How
Wow.
decent is that, dude? Coming from a bald man, I have
commitment.
so much envy for that.
Yeah, I'm not quite bald, but I'm patchy.
Oh, I'm bicked. I'm bicked.
I've got patches of missing hair.
You got to just commit, dude. You
I
gotta
know.
Just
Well,
commit to the
I mean, my problem is like I don't know.
It's a lot of
I
effort.
like to say like I've been too busy to get out to the hairdresser, but like in reality, I just wear a hat every day, so like it just
You don't even notice.
yeah, you don't notice, and then it sneaks up on you, and then you realize like when you take your hat off, like
You're like, I'm
it's-
patches to
oh yeah,
Houlihan over
yeah,
here,
patches
dude.
of Houlihan.
That's unreal. Braden J. For sure, I do. I take advantage of pooping time. Brindley Stefan, dad 100%. Ryber, dad for sure. Carol Hogan, dad's 100%. What are they even doing there? A.B. Stoddard, dad. Dayton Jones, me for sure, but they are still at the door every 5 seconds. Dad, are you pooping or peeing? Daddy, I know you're pooping because the daddies stand up when they go potty. That's funny. Dad for sure. Jackie Lozer mostly sits in the shower. Sits in the shower for like hours, and then Mr. Mathley guilty. Yeah, Dad's got roasted.
I wish
by
I had
far.
a seat.
should've
In my,
known
I
Paul.
wish I had a seat in my shower. When I was in high school, I took a lawn chair into my shower.
Oh, yeah, that was the move. That was the
and
move.
my mom got so mad. She's like, "You can't relax in there."
So
And I
is a
was
lawn chair like a?
I was like,
a
"Why not?
Camping
Yeah,
chair?
no,
Like
you know, like
those
those
camp chairs
or like
wouldn't
the
dry
plastic
off.
ones.
as
You know,
much,
like
I
the
feel
white plastic ones that kind of stack on
yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
yeah.
The
that are-
vinyl ones?
that are
Yeah.
vinyl.
So I
yeah.
grabbed one of those and put it in the shower, and my mom was like, "What are you doing? You can't do that." And I was
That's
like,
ridiculous.
"Yeah, I just want to hang out."
Defied the laws of logic.
Yeah, she couldn't believe it, and I was like, "Well, it's staying in there." And she's like, "You can't have a seat in your shower." And I was like, well, "That just seems like a luxury." Like,
Yeah.
You
why are
get
you-
one of those fold down senior
Why are you
seats.
depriving me of luxury? Like, I
Yeah.
just want to like hang out in here and take a seat occasionally.
Yeah, we had a couple of those. Like when we went to in high school, we had those gym chairs that were like just the plastic ones. And
Yeah.
they were after football, everybody would be in there with like just sitting, or they'd fill the ball bins up with water and put soap in them like a little hot tub. and
Yeah,
just
I
sit
did that
there.
a million times.
Let
Yeah, I
it
did
run
that
on
all
your
the time.
head. That's all.
Yeah,
you
let the
do.
water come in.
Yeah.
There's no end to the hot water in those locker rooms.
Yeah.
Right? So we'd clean out a ball pit or a ball bin with the wheels.
Yep.
Occasionally though, like someone come in and push you and you slip out and then just like a freaking
Slide for a mile.
just an aquarium getting exploded.
Slip and slide.
Yeah, a little slippery slide.
I mean, hell, I spent sometimes half day in the shower. Monty would do rounds like through periods, and I'd be there for 3 periods.
Coach.
And then he'd start yelling at me.
He's like, you got to get to class.
Yeah.
That's unreal. Yeah, Dad's by far probably in there the most, I guess. I just had, this is like not even close. This isn't even the same topic, but when I get home, like, it's not even that I like want to break from the kids. I just like, when I get home, I want to like take like 2 minutes.
To decompress.
Yeah,
in
from
between work.
going to work from kids, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You guys do that same thing?
Well, for
Absolutely.
me, my drive is an hour. So like,
oh, you got to decompress.
so like
for
I mean,
days.
typically I don't go to the bathroom like in the last hour of work because you're trying to get stuff done.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
then
yeah.
like when I get home, sometimes it's been 2 or 3 hours since
Yeah.
I've used the facility. So then I'm like, hey, I got to go to the restroom. And then Jenny always gives me crap. And
As
I'm
soon
like,
as you
well,
walk in.
I mean, it's been hours
Yeah,
for
I
me,
get
like
roasted
between the
too.
drive and then the last hour of work. Like who goes to the bathroom in the last hour of work?
Yeah, my drive is 2 minutes and I do the same thing.
Yeah.
My drive is like 8 minutes, and I'm automatically go to the bathroom, sit down, scroll
Yeah.
through Instagram,
Yeah.
listen to a podcast,
Catch up.
Kids pound on the door.
What are you doing? You're home?
I know you're in there.
Yeah. Hold on. Almost done.
I'm coming out. You said that an hour ago.
It's unreal. Well, we need to revisit the sleepover thing in
Sleepover.
like 5 years.
I mean, ultimately,
we'll be on episode
maybe I need to do a
400.
little bit more research as it relates to statistics. But I just think, I don't know. I don't want to repeat myself. I sound like a broken record.
I'm
you're
gonna come
good.
sleep over at your house.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
hell,
we'll first test it with just
we'll
the
have, yeah,
dads.
you guys come over.
Make
We'll
sure
just switch
you
it
don't-
up.
Make
Pop
sure
some
you don't
popcorn.
molest
Do a
me.
we'll
dry
watch a
run.
movie.
Yeah. Wake up. I'll have Collin inspect my body. Make sure you haven't done anything to it, and then I'll let my kids.
We'll get
come
the
over.
doll. Where did Mike touch you?
Yeah, I need the black light. The doll. Where did
Oh
Mike touch?
my hell!
That's too good. All right, fellas. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
It's always a pleasure. We'll
Joy beyond measure.
yeah, everyone needs to get on it. I had a couple of people ask on, so there's a Twitter and an Instagram account. The Twitter is just Ask Your Dad Pod. I had a couple of people ask out there where the questions are. They're on Instagram. So if you want to participate in the next episode, just go to Instagram and follow. I think if you just type in Ask Your Dad Podcast, it'll come up. Or under my name, Nate_Flake. But I post the questions a couple days before the pod, so if you want to participate or whatever. But yeah, subscribe, comment, do all that. We're trying to grow this thing to get some more dads in here. Maybe, we can bring in a couple of these famous dads, pay for them to come in or something.
Yeah.
So. All right, guys, thanks for it. We'll talk to you later.